All right, so who wants to give the recap, and then we'll continue on.
Not it.
Uh, you know what? I'll give the recap. Misty, you and I can team up. So,
Alright.
we landed on this. I guess what is it? A ship or a planet? I can't even remember. Let me look up my notes. I guess.
Shit, dude.
And this is why we're not playing TitansGrave anymore.
I
No,
remember.
let's not. Now, come
I
on,
remember.
Dave.
It's
Come on,
been
Dave.
how
Be
long,
fair.
though, right?
Oh, I'm
It's
being
been a
fair.
few weeks
I
now,
know.
Dave.
I know.
Oh, I still have my shirt roll.
Anybody remember?
It's at the manor. We're at
The
manor.
moon perch?
Yeah. We're at the manor. Right. We're at the
We're
base of
at
that.
the manor, and we just got done. Or did we? No, we did the manor. Didn't we do the manor?
We already did
Fuck,
the manor.
I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, you
We
That's
already
guys,
did the
right.
manor.
you guys did
We
a
got
manor.
teleported somewhere.
Yeah, you went
That's
into
right,
a
teleport.
teleportation, and you ended up in a area that looks like a natural earthen cave-in, and there is this magical essence everywhere around you, on the floor, on the walls, on the ceiling, and it is the same type of energy that you had seen in your visions as you were being teleported to this, this extra dimensional space is what Arnon Reed had created to, house and keep this prophet, the prophet Darwa, in check and imprisoned and stuff. So, somehow there's been an earthquake happen. You have, basically come into this first fissure, and there was an opening, and it looked like a grotto. Lots of water, lots of beautiful fauna all over the place, and you had met a mermaid. And this mermaid, her name was Kinley Huex, and this is what she actually looks like. And you guys actually had a great conversation with this Kinley. She has been basically, she's been living here in this grotto for as long as she can remember. So she's sort of like the permanent resident here. She loves
And all the
trinkets
gems are
and
her
shinies.
friends.
Yeah, exactly. She loves trinkets. She loves shinies. And she was asking you if you had any shinies, because she wanted to, do some trading. She hadn't seen anyone, and
She wants
and
my staff.
yeah, many, 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 many. Yes, she was infatuated with your staff. Somehow she was just drawn to that
And
staff.
my package.
And yes, your package as well, Lester. And she told you that she's friends with the other citizens of the grotto, which are all the fish and the plants and the algae and all that. So you guys worked a deal. She gave you this ring, which was actually a pretty kick-ass ring with I would say a sword that would appear out of it, sort of like an arboreal type of weapon had come, or anything that you wanted to, a bow or a club, whatever you desired is what this ring would produce. And it had some other properties, and you gave up your Nintendo Power Glove for it, Lester, which was actually kind of surprised me. I honestly never thought that you would give that Nintendo Power Glove up.
My plan was to give it without the batteries, and then turn around and take the sword thing and slash her throat. But
Yeah.
Then, Traps was kind of ruining that.
Yeah. Grimrock kind of did mess it up a little bit. But anyways, the trade happened. Kinley was happy about the trade. She thought that you guys were happy about the trade. And then I remember old Glitter, she pulled everybody aside and was like, "Hey, let's just kill this bitch." And
But she shot her glitter cannons into the water first.
yeah, and she traded glitter cannons too.
Couple.
That was pretty cool. So that's where we left off, as you guys are in the huddle, and Kinley is on the rock. And I have this is the grotto. This is how I envision the grotto. And plus there's a lot of fauna around, and you can see there's this green and blue energy that is lining the walls, and that's sort of like what it would look like. Sort of like the energy, the matter that you, when you were in your stupor, being teleported, that's what you had seen streaking by you. And it's the same thing on the walls. And then, like I said, it's on the floor, on the ceilings as well. So, Kinley, we'll pick up where we left off. Kinley is on the rock out in the middle of the small pool of water. And she asks you, what are all of you talking about over there? What? And this is coming from Kinley.
We're just trying to decide whether or not we want to do any more deals with you.
Well, she kind of turns around. She turns around and points towards, kind of looks over her shoulder and points to the chamber in the back. This is the chamber that leaves the grotto, like I was talking about. This is the way out if you wish to leave.
You know, Dave, I actually have a breathing apparatus, which will allow me to breathe, I'm assuming, underwater.
Yeah. The water's not very deep. In some spots, at some spots it gets a little deeper, but, Kinley,
so course, I may take out a blast grenade.
Sure.
I'm going to take out a blast grenade.
Ooh, a trinket.
And I'm going to say, hey, Kinley, check this out. And I'm going to toss it over to her, Dave, like she's going to catch it.
Sure.
Let's see which shape.
And you're arming it for it to go off?
Hell yeah.
Okay,
go
ahead.
This chick's...
Do your successful roll.
Right,
you have to do a successful roll, correct?
All right. Absolutely. All right, give me a second. Blast file. Here it is.
Is that successful?
Not according to Combat Tracker.
Oh, what's Combat Tracker say?
It doesn't say
anything.
You should know the mechanic for grenades, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking. I'm looking now to see.
I'm just looking it up.
It's a TN roll.
Correct.
Yeah. So So what's her?
No, you have to.
Let's see. I'm looking.
Remember, grenades are you have to roll a flat. All right, here. Let me get the exact.
Yeah, show that to me again. I have it locked in one of my stunt spells. No, but I do get a stunt. Yay.
Alright, grenades. To use a grenade, you must first prepare it with a ready action. Alright? And you must pick a target within 8 yards of you. It doesn't need to be visible to you, but there must be a way for the grenade to get there. You haven't used a grenade in such a long time. When you throw the grenade over hedge, for example, that's why you don't have to have total vision. So the range attack is a TN 11, and that is a dexterity / grenades if you have the grenade focus test. And if it's a success, the grenade lands in the target area and explodes. If it's a failure,
kaboom,
then you go to the kaboom chart. So, what say you?
All right.
A narrow success.
I did. And then I have a stunt value of 3.
You do.
And it says I can make a second attack against the same enemy or a different one within range.
You can use stunts with grenades attack, but you can
let me
only
do this, though.
use one. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to use one of my stunts, and I think my stunt is going to be a setup where I create an opening an ally can exploit. Pick an ally. On their next turn, the ally receives a +2 bonus on their ability test of their choice. This decision must be made before the dice are rolled. So I'm going to pick. Thomas.
So we're going to make
and
the decision
Thomas
after
will
the
now
roll
have a plus. Well, he hasn't gone yet, has he?
Yeah, no, for him, no. I got
so I'll pick Thomas, and he can get a +2 bonus on the next ability test. So whether it's shooting or whatever.
All right.
Because I've created an opening. This thing's exploded. Let me roll the damage too.
Yeah, definitely. And you could, if you wanted to, you could have. And here she is out here. And when you attack her, of course she goes hostile as the grenade explodes, and she takes 8 damage. All of a sudden, she she definitely shrugs it off, and a huge explosion happens around her. A lot of smoke, a lot of rock, chunks of rock go flying all over the place. And as the smoke starts to settle, you can see that her form is still standing there, and she's all scraped up. She's got cuts on her face, cuts on her body. Her hair's all ratted and matted down, and kind of smoldering and whatnot. And then she said, "You shouldn't have done that." So she...
I'm sorry, Kinley, it was an accident.
Yeah.
Let me show you another one.
Roll initiative.
Alright, got it.
And initiative's just a dex roll, right?
Just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you put it in your...
Unless you
trap.
have
16!
unless you have a dex bonus of initiative, but that but if you don't, then
I put
you
it
don't
in the
worry
order
about
of...
Wow, Kinley, you really rolled shitty.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, that's really good. She's got a 10. So, Glitter, you, my friend, are first.
All right. So, I do feel just the slightest pang of, remorse for what I'm about to do. But
I don't think you do.
it leaves as quickly as it comes.
Yeah, because as you are, as everyone is readying their weapons and whatnot, she also readies her as well. And it looks like a very long whip that is made of water. And she is starting to kind of whip it around and slash it around. And you can see beads of water, flying off of this thing, kind of raining down in the entire area of the grotto. As she says, "You shouldn't have done that." And she starts to spin this whip that looks like it's, 20 yards in length. This thing is just massive, and it's just whirling around her. Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to stay where I am right now, because I am within range, and
Definitely
I'm
are.
going to say, well, that looks pretty fancy there. Let's see if it looks as good as this. And I immediately start summoning flames around me, and kind of shaping it into my own flame whip blast thing that I'm launching in her direction. So
Okay. What spell is this?
that's going to be flame blast.
It's called pretend spell, Dave.
Okay.
I just invented it on the fly.
And it's blazing fire erupts from my outstretched hands, and burning nearby targets. The flame blast is 8 yards long and 2 yards wide, and anyone hit by the blast takes 2d6 plus 1 damage.
Okay.
So,
What were we talking about the range of squares to feet in Fantasy
oh
Age?
shit, that's
Anybody
right. It was
remember?
2,
Correct.
isn't it?
Yep, correct, yep.
2?
So you
Have to
can
move
move
up
up.
first
Yeah,
before I
you're
can
going to
do
have to
that.
move up to the edge of the water line, and then you'll be within
Right
8
there.
yards. So yeah, now you can go ahead and do that. Sure. So let's see your target
Okay.
number. Let's see if you are successful with your spell casting first.
So I should have. Let's see. I've got all this broken down here.
And
Let me
as this
find it.
happens, and as you're doing that, and she's whipping this whip around, a lot of the fish are starting to jump in and out of the water, and schools of fish are starting to form around her as well, around that center rock that's protruding out of the water of the grotto. So let's see what
Looks like a fish attack.
see what happens here.
There it is. Oh, that's damage. Oh, here it is. Spell cast.
Take your time, no rush.
Alright.
Wow, nice, very successful cast. Now let's do a dexterity acrobats check on her part.
She got a stunt, too.
She's got 6 stunt points, which is good for you. I will do my dexterity check versus your spell power.
Go right ahead.
So I rolled a 12. So is that higher than your spell power?
13. My spell
Okay.
power is 13.
Okay. Well, Kinley, she failed her acrobatics check. So now your blazing fire erupts and burns her. So you may go ahead and do 2d6 damage and add 1. And then you also got 6 stunt points. So if you wanted to add
Does she
the
take
extra
extra
damage, or
because she's a water person?
we'll
I'm
see
going to
what
add
happens.
extra damage. I just look at this real quick.
Sure. You want to do
I'm going to do
goddess of the
lethal.
lethal? Okay.
Lethal spell. And so that's going to basically give me an additional
46 plus
2d6
1.
damage.
Yep.
46 plus 1. So,
Okay.
do that.
And you could have
Just
took
add
your
the plus 1
you
to
could have
this.
took your
Oops.
extra point and raised your spell power too. You just got to let me know ahead of time. You know what I mean? It would have made
This
it
ought to
even,
do the job
yeah,
nicely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we'll definitely see.
Shit,
46
I just
plus
dropped
1 is
my
pretty
dice
nice.
now I can't find it. What do I do with my little... Hold on a second, I'll find it.
You
There
know
it
that it's
is.
just a virtual desktop, so don't look on the ground, Misty. It's on your screen somewhere.
Shut up, worm.
Just making sure.
Very
He
nice.
freaking
Wow.
asked you.
19 damage to Kinley. Yeah, she is she's definitely looked like she's taken quite a bit of damage, and she staggers back a little bit, but she's still whirling this whip around. All right, anything else for you, Glitter? I guess that's probably it then.
Let me see. Probably about it. Yeah, that's
All right,
it.
Lester, you're up.
Oh snap!
Let's
I gotta
say
go
you,
again.
Lester.
So, I think Lester's gonna go ahead and throw his second bomb.
Okay.
So I'd have to ready for my first action, and then I'll toss it again.
Okay.
So this should do.
So
it.
your
I
mind-
only
okay.
have one bomb left after this.
Sounds good. You can do your
So here we go.
successful roll. See if it's successful. And it is. It lands in her
is.
area. And what kind of grenade are you using this time?
I'm doing the same blast file.
Okay.
I had 2 blast files. Actually, I have 3 blast files, but I'm saving
right.
the last one.
You don't have any sub
then
points,
eight-
so you still
another-
do 8 more damage. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, she
practiced
starts
so
to
and
she's staggering
got a little
around
bit
a
of
little bit
surprise on
now. All right, anything else for you, Lester? All right, Thomas.
No, I'll just glare at her.
What say you?
Well, I will, of course, follow up with my blaster rifle attack using the extra 2 points Lester got me with a surprise attack.
Okay. All right. So we'll deduct 2 from that for Lester being in the way. So that'll be a 15 versus Kinley, and that's still a hit anyway versus.
But then
her
he gets
defense.
the +2 from my stuff.
No, that's
right?
already
That already
Is
had
that
it in.
calculated?
So we deducted -2
Okay.
for you being in the way, but it's no problem because Thomas, he does a precision strike against Kinley. So you can go ahead and do your damage, and I believe you're going to do what, pinpoint as well.
If she has a lower dex than me, yes.
What is
I
your
can do
dex?
3.
You get pinpoint. She has a 2.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh, okay. On my screen, it rolled twice for whatever reason. So there's the
7. Yeah, the
Wait, that's a second attack.
I'll go ahead
Okay,
and I'll take
I don't know
the
what's
5
going on.
from the first one. So you did a total of 6 more damage to her. So she is in pretty bad shape.
Oh no, wait. That's an attack and staff damage. That's not. I don't know why, but whenever I tried to roll it, it rolled something else.
But there's no way it could have been user error.
I mean, it may have been. I mean, I was pressing down my push to talk key, so that probably had something to do with it. But
You had 3d6 damage, so we'll take the 19 damage because that's how much you would be doing with pinpoint. actually with another D4, so that would be a total of 46 damage. That would be a total of 23 damage on Kinley. She goes down. She falls down unconscious from the sniper-like precision shot from Thomas.
And there's
what are the fish
that
doing?
little pang. There's that little pang of guilt again. Damn.
She goes
No,
down.
not for me. What's the fish doing?
The fish, for as Kinley, her body is now charred and still kind of smoldering a little bit, and basically I'm not sure where Thomas shot her, but I mean, where did you shoot her, Thomas?
Headshot.
Yeah, basically her head explodes off of her shoulders, her body becomes lifeless as the laser blast just rips through her melon, and then her headless corpse kind of just slides into the water, face down, and you can see a pool of blood
Thomas.
starting to form around her body at the base of the rock. And the fish...
Quick, Dave, I need to jump in there and recover my my gauntlet.
Okay, sure. As you jump in, you pull her, you can fish her corpse over to the edge. And the fish,
I'll just,
they're
like,
kind of
maybe
jumping
stretch us.
around as you get into the water, but after a couple seconds, they just kind of dissipate, and looks like they're just disappearing all around you. Probably going deeper down into the water as the water turns to red all around you. I mean, the water not only is red around her, but it looks like the blood is just making the entire grotto, the body of water in the grotto, turn red.
Now, Thomas, you didn't have to take her head off. You could have done it a little more.
They took her out
a
in
little
one
less
round.
gruesome.
Somebody
Yeah.
was probably going to die.
Just a little less.
So that's they can't hear me say this,
Spells.
but
You don't tell me how to kill enemies.
yeah, she probably
But
was just going to
she's
kill
a
her.
lady. You should have treated her like a lady.
But they have
Been gentlemanly about
good
killing
initiative
her.
rolls.
Uh-huh.
If she had all the right parts for a lady, I would have. But she doesn't. So fuck her.
Oh, you see? No vagina, no respect.
Alright, Tom, while he's fishing his glove out of her cold dead hand, I'm like looking around at these rocks and stuff that she had before and looking for anything really valuable.
Yeah,
Filling my pockets,
nothing.
Dave,
Nothing.
I'm filling my
Yeah, no
pockets.
problem. Nothing on her end. But like I was saying, all of these. You remember how I kind of described the area, like the shore and stuff? Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
How I described how there were trinkets and stuff sticking out of the shore all over the place, and gems and whatnot.
Glowing and
Yeah, all of that stuff just kind of, as you're starting to look around after you notice that you've killed this beautiful mermaid, all of the items just kind of sift down into the sand. They just kind of submerge themselves.
Like they're running from us?
I don't want to say running, but it looks like something is pulling them all down into the ground. So you don't really see the shinies. You can see them disappearing all around you on the shoreline. And, there's...
I'm going to make a mad dash for one there, Dave.
Sure. You
It
can
looks
give
valuable.
me... there's a sort of like a small little gem pillar sticking out of the ground as it starts to lower itself into the ground. You may be able to jump on it. Give me a dexterity check, and give me this check, and we'll see if you get a hold of it. You definitely get a hold of it, but with with such ease, it seems like it just pulls right out of your hand, and you start to burrow and dig, and you just can't keep up with it as it just comes out of your reach. But you were able to jump on it and grab it.
Well, I still have like my little pocket full of gems that she gave me before, right? Because I had those in my backpack.
Yeah, those are still there. Yeah.
Traded
Well,
with
I'm
glitter
thinking
cannons.
we can still eat fillets tonight. Let's just start gutting her.
God, so brutal. There's that just that little pang of guilt.
And that
Now
it
I
seems
feel
like
guilty.
as
I
you
didn't
get
know
your
that
power
they-
glove off of her worm, her body seems like her body is starting to float away, face down, of course, headless, and her body is starting
Just
to
the way I
float
like my women,
away,
Dave.
and then it submerges down into the bloody depths of the grotto's water.
Can I try and get that
Disappears.
whip real quick before she leaves?
It's a magic spell, water whip.
The whip was dissipated as she died. It kind of shattered into frozen ice bits everywhere. It was definitely a magical property. And out of character, you guys are lucky you killed her, because one of you probably would have died. Which one of you?
It would have
don't
probably
know.
been Misty.
She was pretty tough. You guys did over 55 points of damage to her. So that was good. I mean, I don't mind telling you guys this stuff. She had 50 hit points. You guys, Thomas is what, destroyed. But, I mean, you all contributed to doing the 50 plus points. But she had a nasty combo. And I'll just
What's
tell
her
you
combo
now.
like?
Well, she was going to grab someone with the water whip and then pull them under the water. And then she was going to put up a water wall barrier around them so you guys wouldn't be able to get in. And then she was going to cast another spell on the person that actually was affected with the water whip called Watery Doom. And it is a master level spell, and it basically would have just choked the person out each round until they died from
Even if I had
drowning.
my rebreather?
You didn't have your breather on. You were talking about it, but you never put it on. So, but that's if she would have
Well, that's
grabbed you.
perfectly okay.
That whip would have reached anywhere in the grotto, because, like I said, that whip looked to be 20 yards long. So she would have pulled anybody into
Well, it's
the
hard
water.
for her to cast a spell with a giant bullet in her head, so we're good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's a
So,
good thing that I chose to pull out. I almost didn't do it. I was going to do like just my cheapy spell. And then but I had a feeling that this bitch needed to go down, so I'm glad that we all pulled out our big shot stuff and
Is
took
it
her
because
out.
you
Yeah.
read the PDF before we started?
No.
Oh, that's totally
I had a
different.
feeling that-
I changed this. This is all different. I'm using... Yeah, so if you guys read it, you guys are going to be sorely disappointed.
Oh, that's perfectly fine.
No,
We
I
didn't read
never
anything.
read it. I never
didn't
read any.
use
I don't
it.
read anything.
None of my players have ever done that, so... None of you guys have ever done
Hey,
that.
Lester, hand over that sword.
Yeah, I'll give her that. I'll give Thomas that ring
Okay.
that when you concentrate it makes a sword. So
Sure.
I'm gonna hand that over.
Okay.
But I'm gonna drop it right in front of him. No, I'm just joking. I'll hand
Okay.
it to him.
So as you hand it over to Thomas, it turns into a powder as it just dissolves in his hands.
Oh my God! No.
And it's actually this powder is actually pretty hot, and it seems like it's getting hotter and hotter to where it's burning your hand, Thomas.
Thomas, quick, taste it.
Guess
Well,
I'll have to drop it then.
Okay. Yes, you and it kind of forms a silhouette of a mermaid as you and pulled away. The dust, comes up into the air, and a gust of wind kind of swirls all of this dust around, and there's the form of Kin Lee as she's just kind of looking at you, and then
Remember
this
me.
little cloud dissipates into thin air.
damn.
We didn't get shit from this chick.
No, we didn't. Oh,
Yeah,
you guys
double-check your
didn't.
gyms and stuff just to make absolutely sure it's not going to
Yeah.
be the
Well,
same
that's
thing.
that's the funny thing, because you're starting to feel a very hot sensation of heat coming from your pouch as well, Glitter.
How many times
Fuck
have I heard
me.
her say that?
Are
That
your
bitch, I traded for that shit, parents.
are your
Misty, you got a
glitter
hot pouch.
cannons in there by chance?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm getting away from her.
Well, a couple of your glitter cannons start to explode, and it rips your bag to shreds as the rest of the contents of your pouch just kind of explode and go all over the place. Of course, you can pick it all up, but you've lost a couple glitter cannons because they've actually caught on